and I'm just mashing these muffins, and my girl looks at me like I'm out of my mind, and I'm just dying. I'm just laughing so hard. And I'm trying to explain it to her, then I realize what a freak I look like. Oh, between the pesto and the muffins.
If we ever are fortunate enough to meet him, I want him more than anything. Please say, "Oh, it's pesto."
Pesto. I thought it was
asparagus.
Don't think that if you win tonight, your life's gonna change.
No, Brad,
It is not gonna change.
Stop.
Welcome to the 274th episode of Irritable Dad Syndrome. Ah, crap, it's 275. Whatever. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hi, I'm Darin.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast. This is episode 275. Thank you for joining us, especially after last week. We're really thrilled that you came back and gave us another shot after last week's podcast.
Yeah.
What was wrong with last week? Nothing. I'm just trying to encourage you to go back.
Yeah, you should go back and listen to all this.
Listen to all of them.
Hey, Uncle Mikey's been going back through the past episodes and digging out some gems, so we always tell people to listen to our most recent episode and go from there. But boy, howdy, if you're a recent listener and you've come in the 200s, go back.
Go back to like 140, 150, and those are.
If you go to our website, it has a list of the ones that I can't talk. If you go to our website, you just try to swipe me off the show.
No, I was
swipe left on his co-host.
Well,
nope.
No, I was visualizing.
Okay,
when you go to our website, you go to and I was hoping that would help me remember the words.
You go down
episodes you may like or whatever, and there's a slew of them.
You go betwixt the headline and the episodes, and there a twain is a whole smorgasbord of our critically acclaimed episodes. Episodes that have made Chris Hughes chortle.
Giggle, yeah. On that, you can find all 4 of our best of episodes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're getting ready to put together the best of year 5, and that will be up in there. You can also hear our interview with Shadoe Stevens. You can also hear our interview with Haywood Banks. Those are 2 of the biggest celebrities who have been on this podcast. So, yeah.
And if you've come to us because you saw a clip on the TikToks or the YouTubes,
welcome.
Welcome. And then also in those clips, you can get to the episode that clip came from. Maybe we struck a special type of funny spot for you. And that's an episode where you can go listen to it and just enjoy yourself.
And if there's an episode that you really enjoyed, please let us know. Shoot us a message. You can do that at our Facebook page. You can do that at IrritableDadSyndrome.com. You can do that on our TikTok. Let us know if there's something that really struck your fancy. We would love to hear from you.
And that's about it from me, Mike and Darin.
Have a good week.
Thanks for listening.
Yep.
Talk to you later.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mike Odell, Darin Cox production.
Before we go, Robert Redford passed away.
Yeah, what happened?
Legend. Well, he's 89.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what actually was the cause of his death. I just know he was the legend of legends. This guy was, oh my God.
I'm trying to think what Robert Redford movies I've seen.
You know what? I was actually going through
the newspaper one with Dustin Hoffman.
All the President's
Men.
What a great movie. I love that when he looked at Dustin Hoffman and said, "Is there any place where you don't smoke?" Yeah. And then he was, I really loved Sneakers back in the day. Oh, that's a really good one.
I've seen him in movies.
Yes.
I know I enjoy seeing him in movies, but I've never specifically gone to a Robert Redford movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's kind of like Mandy Patinkin.
Yeah.
I really like him. I've
Princess
just never
Bride.
gone to see a movie just for him. Mandy Patinkin
Patinkin.
And what's
you
this?
just compared Robert Redford to Mandy Patinkin.
Practically the same guy.
Okay.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Little makeup. But no, this is what I liked most about Robert Redford was that, he got kind of bummed out with Hollywood, and that's why he founded the Sundance Film Festival, and
He founded it?
yeah, oh yeah.
Does he own the Sundance?
That was his thing.
Isn't that like a production company too?
Yeah.
Holy Lord!
Exactly. So he was like the mecca to all of these independent filmmakers, right?
Yeah.
And so he loved independent films because he was all about the story.
He got sick of movies like that were short on story, like The Godfather.
Yeah.
Nobody watches The Godfather for the story.
I love
right?
The Godfather. Yeah. So he was big into independent film, but he was also smart, and he was so smart that he didn't turn down the chance to be in Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to be in the movie that's going to be the #1 box office draw of all time. Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
He's one of those actors.
Good looking as hell.
He's one of those actors
God, he was
where
good looking.
when he walked onto, like when he popped up in a movie, you're automatically like, oh, I didn't realize we were watching a good movie.
Right, yes.
This is, wow.
Yes.
If he's in it,
Yes.
I need to reevaluate how I've been feeling about this movie up to this point.
God, he was dreamy, those blue eyes.
Okay.
Lord have mercy.
Okay.
And,
He went to Africa and fought a lion or something.
that's right.
With Susan Sarandon.
No, Meryl Streep was in
Streep.
Out of Africa.
Same person.
Yeah. A dingo ate my baby.
Interchangeable.
Yeah.
He was in.
Was that the movie A Dingo Ate My Baby?
He was in Look Who's Talking. He was
No,
in The Dark
no,
Crystal.
That was John Travolta. And that was Jim Henson who made The Dark Crystal.
He was not in the first Star Wars.
No.
But Empire Strikes Back.
He was not in that.
If you look, no. The little droid that's going out over the snow, that was his.
That was Robert Redford?
No. He was remote control. He was an inventor. And it was one of the first drones. He put it in the movie.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, he was Hydra.
Yeah, it's right.
Was he Hydra?
No, he was in Captain America: Civil War. Yeah, I know. Stump tells us that but he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
So anyway, but Robert Redford,
Batteries
God love
not
you.
included.
Yeah,
Short circuit.
he was Willow. He was Willow. A lot of people don't know that.
He wasn't.
Go
Wicket gets all the press. Wicket gets all the press as an Ewok. Nobody talks about Jorgensen, the Ewok, up in the tree. And the third Ewok from the left that's holding the spear.
Okay.
That's Robert Redford.
Okay, we love you, Robert Redford, and we miss you.
Hey, what happened?
I don't know if you've seen this, but there is this great clip with Liam Neeson, and he is with Willow, and then with Ricky Gervais, and with that other guy who is a comedy partner with Ricky Gervais. And Liam comes in there and says, "I want to do improvisational comedy."
Oh yeah.
And they're like, "Okay, because I'm very funny and I want to do improvisational comedy."
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Okay, Willow, pick a scene." He's like, "You're a hypochondriac and you're the doctor." And Liam Neeson comes in there and he says, "I have full-blown AIDS." And they're like, "We don't know what to do with that." And they tell him, "You can't go in there." He goes, "I don't take notes."
Oh yeah.
Okay. But my God, it's one of the funniest things ever. And what makes it really, really, really funny is the look on Willow's face sitting there like, what is going on here?
There's a similar clip with. Have you seen the one with Johnny Depp, where he's comes in? It's Willow and Ricky Gervais, and Johnny Depp comes in and says, "Oh, you like to make jokes. You like to make jokes in your little award shows. I got a few jokes." And he pulls out. Johnny Depp pulls out a bunch of jokes, and they're like veiled insults directly at Ricky Gervais. And Willow's looking at him, and they're just kind of uncomfortable. It's very Curb Your Enthusiasm. But there's one of the jokes Willow actually laughs, and then Ricky looks at him like, "What?
Whose side are you on?"
It's great.
It's great. Speaking of award shows, we are just coming off the excitement, the thrill, the wonder, the amazement that was the Emmy Awards.
For awards in radio.
No, that's for awards in television.
Television.
I think the Marconi Awards are their awards in
Marconi
radio.
plays the Mamba.
Yeah, it said, listen to the radio. Don't
you remember?
So the Emmy Awards was on, and of course, you go to the social medias, all the platforms, and there's all the people who don't care about the Emmys. They crack me up. I don't care and I'm not watching it. Well, if you really don't care, you wouldn't even bother posting that you don't care. And then there's I don't know the guy's name. I can't remember his name. I think it's Jeff Hiller. He won Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy. Now, this was what they call an upset because a lot of people thought that hunky Harrison Ford was going to win Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy. It was the first time that Harrison Ford was nominated, but this guy, Jeff, won it, and there's people, I've never heard of him. I don't even know who he is. Well, I don't care because I've never seen him. It's like, is that...
Maybe you should get out some more.
Yes, thank you.
Go out and touch grass.
Yeah, if this guy is funny enough to beat Harrison Ford in Shrinking, then, maybe check out HBO Max and watch the show and then see if you think he's funny instead of just, he can't possibly be funny because I've never heard of him.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know. Nobody knew who Mark Hamill was until Star Trek made it big.
That's right.
And then
Star Trek made him a huge star.
It did.
Yeah, exactly. Him and
then
Willow.
Alan Rickman.
Yes.
Yeah, they all got their start.
On Star Trek.
The occipital area of my head seems to have impacted with the arm of the chair.
But I felt bad for... did you watch it? You don't watch the Emmy Awards, do you?
I don't. See, as somebody, if you want to talk about people who don't care, I truly don't care, and I don't want to. I don't want to offend you.
But you don't go posting that you don't care.
No,
that's the thing.
I didn't even know they were on.
Right.
I just started seeing clips. Now I do enjoy seeing clips of whoever's hosting. Mm-hmm. I loved it. It was Ricky Gervais didn't do the Emmys, did he?
No, Ricky Gervais did the Golden Globes.
Golden Globes
for like 4 years.
So I loved it when he was doing those. Mm-hmm. I like watching the highlights. Nate Bargatze did the Emmys.
He did.
I saw this post about how horrible of a job he did, and I'm like, I don't think Nate can do a horrible job.
He's getting
part of his.
Yeah, he's getting dragged through the mud.
I watched it. I didn't. Mm-hmm. He did the thing. I thought it was hilarious. Mm-hmm. Every second you go over, we're going to take 1,000 from the kids.
Yes,
he had a little rough patches getting there, but if you watch Nate Bargatze, if you like his humor, that's part of it. Is that uncomfortableness? He's got that. He doesn't mind being uncomfortable.
Right.
A lot of people were wondering, like, why am I hosting? I don't know what that was, but all right, it counts as a laugh.
Yeah. Okay. And here
that's
you go.
Part of it. He's one of those comics where you may walk in, not necessarily getting him, but at the end of the hour, your kidneys are bursting. You're laughing so hard at him. That's what he is.
And by the way, I knew that they weren't going to take money away from the children. I knew that. I predicted it, and I said, they're not going to take money.
Yeah.
So the original concept was, I'm donating $100,000 to the Boys and Girls Club, and every second that they go over on their speeches, we're taking money away. And at one point, it went negative. It's like they were at negative $35,000.
So they owe us money.
Right. And so, but at the end of the night, they gave $350,000 to the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
Right? So I knew that they weren't going to take money away from a charity. But that being said, almost everybody who went up there on stage was rushed and awkward, even more awkward than you normally are on an award show. So it's like the premise was interesting, but after a while you could tell people were growing tired of it.
But we did get John Oliver's yelling, "You Nate Bargatze."
Yes.
That was worth the whole thing.
Yes, that was. And then Nate Bargatze, man, John Oliver, he's the worst. Because John Oliver came up there and his acceptance speech, I think, was 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But my take from the Emmy Awards was the show Adolescence kept winning, and I could have been with, I've never heard of that, and if I've ever heard of that, it can't be that good. Holy crap. Have you watched Adolescence?
No, I don't even know what that...
I watched the first episode. Libby and I were glued to the screen, and then we started watching the second episode, and the boys came home. We started talking about this, that, and something else. Okay. And but we are going to watch the rest of it as soon as we possibly can. So, like you said, step out of your comfort zone. If there's somebody you don't know, check it out. You might think the person's funny. You might like the show. But, yeah.
Yeah, how are you people ever going to see new stuff? You know?
Yeah.
Listen, all the music you like right now, you probably discovered back in the high schools and the colleges.
Yes.
You know why?
Right.
Because you were looking at new stuff back then.
Right.
Then you got old. Yeah, this is for the visual.
For the hearing impaired.
When you got old and gray and you don't give a shit anymore, then you quit listening to new stuff. That's why when your kids say, "Hey, I'm going to go listen to Weezer," you don't even know who that is.
Right. But it's like all you people complaining about you don't know who any of these people are at the Emmys. I'm going to tell you something right now. Mary Tyler Moore is dead. Okay, she's not going to win any more Emmy Awards. Carol O'Connor is dead. He's not going to win any more Emmy Awards. The days of there being 3 channels and you knowing literally everybody who's on that stage are gone.
Yeah.
Okay, that went away. And when did HBO first start getting original programming?
1932.
Yeah, okay, so 1933 I think was when the
Fraggles started.
when the Larry Sanders Show.
Yeah.
Remember the Cable Ace Awards?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to have the Cable Ace Awards.
Hey now.
And all these shows that were on basically HBO it might as well have been the HBO
Cinemax
Awards.
had that one show with the guy with the toaster, and that was it. Everything else was HBO.
Talk Soup?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That wasn't on Cinemax, was it? That was only on in Finland.
No.
After HBO came, then all of these original programmings episodes started, really competing with network television. So the days of network television.
I'll be serious
gone.
for a moment. A couple of the original HBO shows that I really enjoyed. Not necessarily the news.
Yeah,
like the Daily Show? Thank HBO.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien wrote for not necessarily the news.
And then they also had. Did you ever see Dream On?
Yes. I loved Dream On.
Yeah, the dude would go through his life, and then he would have flashbacks
in black and white television clips. It was great. I love Dream On.
Yeah, I actually watched some classic TV this past weekend. Yeah, Brian Benben. This past weekend, and I will tell you, we were watching a black and white, one of them cowboy shows.
Okay.
Mister, I don't like the way you're looking at me. I don't like the way you're talking to me.
Let's
take this outside. And there was something oddly comforting about it.
I know.
And I don't know if that's because I'm 50 now, and that's just I know that at some point I'm going to be in a home.
Yeah.
Probably in trouble for the third time.
Later. Yeah.
Mike, you can't have a Pop-Tart today because you walked out in the front yard again without your pants on. There's something comforting about a bunch of people yelling at each other in the old black and white shows.
I know.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and say what you want about, all of these new TV shows. You look back at the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah.
The Andy Griffith Show is still one of the greatest television shows ever made. It's enjoyable to this day. They're just really good shows. Yeah. And I think it's important that we go back and we keep watching these really old TV shows, because you'll watch them and you can see where some of these newer shows got their inspiration. And have you ever watched Barney Miller? My God, yeah. Barney Miller is an amazing show.
And some shows that were popular when you were a kid are now cool to watch for a different reason. So
I miss watching a TV show on a particular day of the week. Like Monday night, you would watch Everybody Loves Raymond at 9 o'clock. So we've started doing that with shows that are on Netflix. We would Game of Thrones, we would watch Thursday night at 10 o'clock. Thursday at 10 on HBO.
You should go hardcore. Like if somebody's has to go to the bathroom or they're popping the popcorn.
Exactly.
It's on. It's on.
Just let it run.
Bring back the days of running through your house. And
we tried explaining to the kids what that was like back in the day. We didn't. It's like if you missed a TV show, you missed it.
Yeah, okay. And the commercials were our internet.
That's right. That's
you guys.
You would run to the bathroom.
You would come back
4 minutes.
Yeah, you would go to the bathroom and then you come back and somebody would be saying, "I can't believe they're making another Indiana Jones." You'd be like, "What?
Huh?
What? The Temple of Doom? What?" And they showed the guy with the fire, and no, you missed it. You're just gonna have to wait till next week when it's on the show.
Exactly. But no, if you missed an episode, you had to hope and pray that you would catch it when they would rerun it over the summer. And sometimes you did, sometimes you didn't.
By the way, if this is your first time listening and you're like, "My God, I'm 20 minutes in. Are these guys ever going to talk about anything?" This is the show.
This is the
show. This is what it is. Go do something around the house and have us on in the background. Every once in a while, we may piss you off. I mentioned Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Charlie, when we went to the Disneys, they have the Hollywood Studios, which used to be called MGM Studios, and then Big Disney got involved and changed it.
They
took the Mickey hat out and they called it Hollywood Studios. But they still have the Indiana Jones Stunt Show Spectacular, right?
Oh.
And all the stunts in that stunt show are all from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
They have the opening with the ball.
Running from the ball.
Thing. They've got the fight in
they would shoot the poison darts through the wall.
The fight in the town square where Marianne gets thrown in a basket,
yes.
and then the plane that blows up at the end. Those are all in the show.
You know, when Indiana Jones did that thing, he pulled the gun at the guy who was swinging the sword or whatever, because he had a fever.
Yeah,
he was like sick. He's like, screw this. He just pulled it and shot it, and then they kept that.
And I fulfilled my dad duties by informing everyone in the room of that fact right when it happened. You know,
and they're like
breaking the fourth wall.
Like,
we know, Dad.
Shut up.
Yeah. Anyway, so when we saw that thing, Charlie's like, did they do all of that in the movie? I was like, yeah, they do all of that in the first Indiana Jones movie. So he wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
So we watched it again, and that's a good movie, by the way.
It is a great movie.
One of the greatest movies of all time.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I challenge you.
It's not Indiana Jones and the Raiders
it's just
of the
Raiders
Lost Ark.
of the Lost Ark.
It's just Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I challenge you to watch it again and notice how amazing the cinematography is.
Mark Hamill was in that.
They had, and
Willow.
And Wookiee. They had, so everybody knows the scene when they're digging in the desert with, when him putting his hat on.
Yes,
that's I want
silhouette.
a poster of that.
I do too.
But I was amazed. The cinematography in the jungle, in the very beginning, there's a lot of shots where I'm pretty sure Mr. Spielberg was like lying under an anaconda and they had like actual mist and flying through the air and Indy's walking through and they're making sure they don't show his face and everything's in shadows.
Yeah.
And then he walks into the light. It's amazing.
It is.
Movie all the way through.
It is.
But I have some problems with it.
Oh, okay.
One, really.
So you have a problem.
I have a problem that shows up twice. Back in the day.
Okay, then that's problems.
Back in the day. It's problems, yes. Make me sound less stupid. Anyway. So there's a scene in the movie, spoiler for a 80-year-old movie. There's a scene in the movie where Marianne, for whatever reason, gets into a basket, and the monkey's jumping on the basket saying she's here.
I hated that monkey.
And the guys grab the basket. They make it look like the basket because the monkey jumps off and they pick up that basket.
Right.
They put that basket in the back of a car.
Right.
And that car drives and then something happens and it blows up. And then Indy, which this is so 80s, he sees that, he's like, oh. And then the next scene, he's in a bar getting hammered.
Yeah.
And then you find out that Marianne survived. It's like, hold on.
Hey, what happened?
No, she didn't. She didn't. We saw the basket. We saw her in the basket.
She was in
we saw
a
it get
stunt
picked.
basket.
We saw it get picked up and put on the truck. It's the same. It's another part of the movie that annoys me is the wall that's coming down at the beginning.
Yeah.
You throw me the idol, I throw you the whip.
Yeah, right.
And it's like he's trying to climb up the thing. There's not enough time. It's going to close.
Yeah.
It's like the wall.
2
It
hours
closes
later.
like 5 times.
Yeah, it does.
Before he goes under it. And that's, people talk about how there's things we've lost in making movies, things that are worse now. That's one thing that we do a lot better now. Now, when Iron Man is trying to fly through the thing before it closes, it looks, they've got the timing down.
They do.
It's not closing like 100 times before he gets there.
Right.
Or another one is, I can't think of another example, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Damn, that was... Seems so good when I was writing it down while I was talking to somebody and I should have been listening to him.
No, it's very good examples. I hated the monkey. Raiders of the Lost Ark was amazing. The lady in Temple of Doom drove me absolute crazy. But I
didn't mind her that much.
I was like, short round. Why you bring her here?
Yeah, part of you.
Hey, Dr. Jones, no time for love. We've got company.
It was fun to get annoyed with her because Indy was annoyed with her the entire time.
Yeah. I guess she accomplished that goal. She made you feel like Indy.
So my favorite scenes in that movie are the bridge scene. The first time you hear Indy go, oh. And, short round, tongue tie. Oh, and he starts rapping his thing.
No,
and she's like,
he rapped the thing.
But
yes,
they're wrapping their hands and arms and legs in the thing.
Yeah.
And she is perfect where she's just going, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's crazy. He's nuts. He's like,
oh, no,
he's not nuts. He's crazy.
He's no nuts. He's crazy.
You can't have that without her.
No, you can't.
I love when she's running and screaming because the elephant trunk comes down.
Yes.
And Indy and Short Round are playing. He's like, you know what I can't stand about it's the noise. Yeah. And she's running and screaming in the background.
I know.
It's a great movie.
I know. And then I loved Last Crusade with, we named the dog Indiana. But in Latin, Jehovah starts with an I. Yeah, you know. Yeah. And then it went sour.
Then they went to Area 51, and I don't know what the hell happened. Shia LaBeouf showed up in a Transformer.
Oh my God. I remember Libby and I when we were, what was the fourth one?
Kingdom of the
Crystal Skull. When Shia LaBeouf.
The Kingdom of what happened?
When he was on that Jeep and he jumped into the jungle and started swinging vine to vine to vine away from the monkeys, the little red, clearly CGI monkeys. And he's swinging and swinging and swinging. He gets across. The Jeep had went up, taken a right, and then went back down. And then he jumps out of the jungle, back into the Jeep.
Yeah.
And Libby and I started laughing the hardest we had laughed in years at that movie.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I remember when Indy put himself in the refrigerator.
Yes.
And the bomb blew up.
Yes.
And I don't remember.
Spielberg still stands by that, by the way.
I don't remember who. I know Bess was there. I don't know. I think it was just me and her. And I remember leaning over and saying, "Can you do that?
Right.
Can you? Is that?
You would break every bone in you might survive the bomb, but you would break every bone in your body.
It went very far.
Yeah.
It was farther than a field goal kick.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it was.
And then he just rolls out of it. And I remember thinking about all the stories.
And then he puts on his hat.
Yeah.
Speaking of Harrison Ford, he left the Emmy Awards early, and people were complaining about that. Well, half the people were complaining about that. The other half were like, he's 83. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I was Harrison Ford and I won the award, I would leave.
It's like, because we watched.
Why hang around?
Because
he's been to 100 of those ceremonies.
Yeah. Because we watched Indiana Jones, I sent a clip, one of my favorite clips of Harrison Ford. He was on Conan O'Brien. Mm-hmm. And Conan had Jordan Schlansky come out.
Yes.
It's not what you're thinking.
No,
he asked him an Indiana Jones trivia question to see if he could stump Harrison Ford. And he goes through in the first movie you did this, and blah, 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 blah.
What was the color of the original Whip's fall? Who gives a...
That was better than when he broke the Lego Millennium Falcon thing, yeah. Harrison Ford's my idol. I love Harrison Ford. So I wish he had won the Emmy Award. He didn't. I'm going to check out the guy who beat him and see if that guy's really funny or not.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Hills, where the toys are. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah.
If you're not watching Daredevil on Disney Plus, there's something wrong with you.
How many seasons are?
They had 3 seasons that were on Netflix.
Yeah.
And then they brought it back. The mouse brought it back, Daredevil Born Again. Now, I wanted to watch Daredevil Born Again because a couple of years ago, Libby and I tried watching Daredevil, and we liked it. And I don't know, I can't remember why we didn't keep watching it. We got distracted.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, something shiny was in the house.
I haven't seen it in a while. Yeah.
So we went back and rewatched the original 3 seasons of Daredevil. Now, this is like Quentin Tarantino presents Daredevil.
Yeah.
Because
there's that one.
The language isn't bad, but my God, the violence, there's blood everywhere.
Is it in the first episode where they have that long, extended single cut of him going back and forth down the hallway? He's rescuing the kid. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's one of the most amazing scenes in in TV, period.
Beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah. All one shot.
Yeah. I mean, Daredevil, you don't mess with Daredevil. So Libby and I are hooked on Daredevil. We watched season 1, then with season 2, and we're burning through it. We get to season 3, and we're like, okay, great. Now we can watch Daredevil Born Again. So we turn on Daredevil Born Again, and I'm not going to spoil it for you because it's a new TV series. But something happened at the end of Daredevil on Netflix, and then we start up Daredevil Born Again, and we're like, wait a minute.
My question is, what the hell?
What's going on here? Why is this person blank when we thought this person was blank, right?
Did you watch The Punisher? Because The Punisher, he was in The Punisher.
Okay, I did not watch. Okay,
yeah,
so
they crossed over.
There's the Defenders, there's Punisher, there's Echo, And then one of the main characters in Daredevil showed up in the Hawkeye series. There were things that, like...
I didn't even know Hawkeye had a series.
And it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. But I'm like...
As a ringing endorsement.
I'm like, damn it, Disney, damn it, Marvel, you guys have 40 storylines that keep crossing over and crossing into this and crossing into that. Yeah. And you have to... Now it's like you've got to watch all of these TV series to understand what's going on in the movies. And I found out that there was something that happened in Secret Invasion that discredited or changed something that I knew in Avengers Endgame.
See, I would be willing to do all that for Breaking Bad. If they had a spinoff called Marie and her... I would watch that.
Yeah, and then, Purple Rain with Marie. Because she wears purple all the time. It's Breaking Bad, I want them to do another series where we find out, when Skyler and Walter Jr., Flynn, when Flynn gets all the money that, Walter gave to him through the people at Gray Matter.
Elliot and Rachel.
Sarah. Elliot and... What's her name? Elliot and...
Shoshana.
Elliot and Shoshana were supposed to give all the money to Flynn and his little sister, Holly.
Hey, I have something fun.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Yeah, I went on a trip, and I visited a record store, as I want to do.
I'm starting to love going to record stores. Well, I've always enjoyed going to record stores.
And I go in there, and I'm perusing. Now, longtime listeners, and you, and everyone who knows me knows that I am terrible at advertising the fact that we have a podcast.
That's right.
I will be wearing merch, and someone will say, hey, that looks like an interesting shirt you have on there. What is that shirt? And I was like, whatever, get out of my face. Leave me alone. But I'm in the store, and I noticed that he's not the owner, but he's like a guy working in the store.
How do you know he's not the owner?
He may be. No, I know he's not because I've been to the store for years.
Okay.
He's not the owner.
Okay.
But he's wearing a Megadeth shirt.
Megadeth!
Now, not only have I seen Megadeth, I've met Megadeth, and we've talked about it on this show.
Yes.
So I was like, hey, that's a cool shirt.
Them cows are out there banging in the field.
Yeah, cows are out, episode 111. It's good, good episode.
Yeah, great
And
episode.
I said, hey, that's awesome. And he said, yeah, I saw him. I don't remember what he said. Anyway, I said, hey, I met Dave Mustaine. He was like, really?
Yeah.
And we start talking about it, and I'm telling the story.
But the Venomous Beaver
all
t-shirt.
Y'all go listen to episode 111 if you haven't already. I tell him about the Venomous Beaver t-shirt, the fact that I have a podcast. And as I'm telling him the story, I see his eyes start to trail away. The way people, like when some old dude is just talking about how, like his hip doesn't feel is a bit off.
Yeah, of course I had to retire because of my fibromyalgia.
And I could tell that he couldn't give the first about me meeting Dave Mustaine, my podcast, or Venomous Beaver. He wanted out of the conversation. So then I took this story and I just I wrapped it up really quick. And then I'm embarrassed. He's like, okay. And he goes back to the thing, to the counter. And he's texting. He's probably like, there's a psychopath in the store right now, just boring me about his podcast. So I had already looked at what I wanted to look at, but I felt like I should be in there longer because if I just left right then, it would make it even more awkward. So I just start going through and looking at different albums and stuff. People are coming and going. And I'm like, okay, I've been here a respectable amount of time. It's time for me to leave. And then he said, yeah, I saw Megadeth just last year up the street here.
Oh.
I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, at the Civic Center. And I was like, okay. Yeah, they didn't come here when I was, a kid or, back in the day. He's like, yeah. So, and then I start telling him where I saw him at Riverbend. And I'm going into that. And his eyes start trailing off again. And he starts wandering away. And I'm like, holy.
Why are you starting a conversation with me?
He was free.
Just ask me a yes or no question.
He probably, I don't know if he reset, if he's like the guy in Memento, where he forgot that I was boring the out of him.
He has no short-term memory whatsoever.
There's a guy, or Dory, was it Dory? Dora Finding Nemo?
Dory.
Dory.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just came over and started the conversation again.
Just keep swimming.
Yes. So I had the same embarrassing interaction with the same person twice. And then I did leave immediately after that when I'm like, well, see you later. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to that store again for the rest of my life. I'm very upset, though.
No, where were we? Oh, yeah.
Why would he bring up something? Why would he start a conversation with you the second time if he's not going to...
Here's what bothers
it's not
me.
like you were trying to sell him M-Way products.
Here's what bothers me.
Oh, okay.
And I even mentioned that there were cows mooing in the rafters, and Dave was looking.
Yeah,
I think that's a funny story.
I
Some
agree.
of our longtime listeners enjoyed that story.
Yeah.
But as I'm telling him, I felt like I'm getting a live view at what most listeners are doing when they play our podcast. Like, oh, here you go.
Think
Sorry,
they just
I'm going to skip the thing. Yeah,
well, I think the people who listen to our podcast, I doubt they've even gotten this far into this episode. I don't think they just walk away and let it keep playing.
Yeah. We did have the one fan in France that I'm still convinced was a 90-year-old woman that didn't know how to delete us.
Right.
Until like 3 years in. She's
like our
to every
first
episode.
20 episodes, we were downloaded by somebody
Constantly.
in France. Yeah. And we reached out like, hey, if you're our listener in France, let us know. Hi, we, want to hear from you. Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Nope.
Not a damn thing.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Whoppers all-beef foot-long hot dogs. Whoppers are packed full of flavor and guarantee to be a hit at your next tailgate party. Get a ruler and measure it yourself. If your hot dog isn't a foot long, we'll refund your money guaranteed.
That's right.
So what are you waiting for? Get a family pack of Whoppers today. You'll be glad you did. Now back to Mike and Larry.
I mentioned Game of Thrones earlier, and 'cause Mark Hamill was on Game of Thrones. And my oldest son, is 21, and he still lives at home, and I'm trying not to embarrass him, like I do on a daily basis. But he was talking to me and Libby, and he says, I'd like to watch Game of Thrones.
Oh.
And listen, I know he's 21. I know he's an adult. I understand that he is old enough to watch R-rated movies. But Libby and I, we had to talk to him. We were like, look, we don't care if you watch it.
We just don't want to be in the room.
I can't watch it with you. And he's like, what, is it that violent? It ain't the violence.
No, it's not the violence.
It ain't the violence.
Yeah, let's watch a Saw movie. It's fine.
Oh, he's seen all the Saw movies.
It's something about the boobs popping up on the screen, and it's like immediately everyone is uncomfortable.
Hello.
Well, Libby had said, what if we... we're both fans of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, the last season had a lot to be desired, but still a fan of the show. There was more great parts of that show than bad.
Yeah.
But Libby's like, what if we fast forwarded over the new season? No,
you can't.
You miss all this pivotal dialogue.
They have pivotal dialogue, and then people are just humping in the back.
There's 8 naked ladies, a little person, and a goat.
Spoiler, it takes place with swords and stuff. And they'll have a pivotal scene. And in the book, the dialogue takes place in a dungeon with like a rat in the background.
Right. Not a rat, 8 hookers.
But in the show...
a little person.
In the show...
and a goat.
It's like Girls Gone Wild in the background. They're on trapeze.
Yeah.
There's no need. They have water beds. I didn't even know they had water beds back in, I guess in Westeros, whatever. You got dragons, you might as well have a water bed.
It's like, I didn't know they could do that.
No.
What are they doing? Good God.
Littlefinger, also Baelish.
Yes.
He runs a...
That was my nickname in high school, by the way.
He runs a brothel, otherwise known as a brothel.
And a whorehouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he does that in the book, but he has the sense to not have all of his conversations. They're not there in the book. But HBO looked at it and it's like, hey, we have a chance to take Cinemax's previous glory away from them. And we can have every scene with this guy where he's talking about something and a boob flying in the background.
Right.
And it's just
and you'll be like, the dragons are all flying through. It's like, cool, that dragon's awesome. And then the next cut, there they are.
There's a nipple. I'll tell you, I recently reread the first book.
Oh, okay.
If you watch the first episode, when they visit Winterfell, the king and Tyrion and all of them,
right? The Lannisters.
Tyrion gets down with multiple ladies.
Yes, he does.
And it shows more than you're comfortable sitting through.
Mm-hmm.
I reread the book. That's not in there.
It's
like, why is that there? I know why it's there.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
But I don't know how you could. If they made a version of it where they would just had like blurries bits, but then you'd be distracted. You see all these pixelated things flopping around in the back.
But anyway, again, maybe I'm a prude. Maybe I'm a bad parent. Maybe I need to just let some stuff go. But I'm like, I can't sit there and watch that with my kid.
Could you imagine if Lord of the Rings were like that? If Frodo's up there trying to throw the ring in, and then Bouncy Belinda's hopping around in the back with Sam,
banging a bunch of hobbits. Yeah.
I saw a meme. I'm sorry. You reminded me of a meme. Have you seen the memes where it has the dad? Dad says we're not going to get a puppy, and then the next scene it says dad with the puppies, and he's like laughing, and So it said Boromir staring at the hobbits, looks mad. It's like Dad said, "Don't bring home any hobbits." And then the next one is all the hobbits tickling him, and he's laughing. He's like, "Dad with the hobbits."
I did not see that. We haven't had a just stop on this episode in forever. Years ago, we had one, and I'm going to revisit that. I believe my just stop was addressed to the General Mills Corporation with their cereal Cheerios. Okay, they need to just stop with all the flavors of Cheerios, because you can go down the aisle and there's like 22 different brands of
Mountain
Cheerios.
Dew Baja Blast Cheerios.
Exactly. Mountain Dew, and Mountain Dew needs to stop. Pop-Tarts have lost their mind with like 40-some flavors of Pop-Tarts.
Taco Bell just needs to accept that they have beans, rice, and beef.
Yeah,
and just
exactly. And
stop it.
And be happy with that. Yeah. M&M's needs to stop. Okay? M&M's, excuse me.
Jeez. I'm waiting for something to burst out of your chest.
I hiccuped, and I think I threw out my back. M&M's needs to stop. A friend of mine on the Facebook posted this thing that M&M's is about to launch 3 new flavors. One of them is cherry chocolate cupcake.
What?
Gross. Lemon meringue.
No.
I don't think so.
And then the last one was peanut butter cinnamon roll M&M's.
None of these things work.
None of these. I love lemon meringue pie. Okay, I love have you ever had a tasty cake? Kroger has tasty cakes. Holy crap! You can get a lemon tasty cake. Those are good. Those are really good. And that's what I'm going to eat. Or I'm going to eat a lemon meringue pie. But I'm not going to get lemon meringue in an M&M.
No.
Okay. M&M's.
We're a Christian.
That's right. That's not what
family.
that ain't.
We don't do that.
That ain't in the Bible. M&M's needs to realize that the peanut M&M, the old school peanut M&M, is the bomb. You can't touch it. You cannot go near it. For a longest time, they were like dominant, and then Reese's Pieces came out with E.T. and Steven Spielberg. You know, they reached out to M&M's, but they turned them down for that movie. So they used Reese's Pieces, and then Reese's Pieces was like exploding. E.T.'s candy, right? And then they were giving M&M's a big run for their money, but Reese's Pieces just kind of fizzled. And I mean, I'm sure they're still doing business, but they're not doing the kind of business that they were. So it's like all you need is peanut M&M and then the chocolate M&Ms, because they used to call them plain, and they're like, whoa.
No.
There ain't nothing plain about them.
No.
They're yummy.
It's what do you got? I got chocolate.
I got chocolate.
Like, well, that's going to melt in my
mouth,
hand.
not in your hand.
Right. So I put a candy coating on it, and now it doesn't melt in my hand.
Right.
And then they lived for years with that. That was back when we came over to America. Discovered
the Pilgrims.
The Pilgrims had M&Ms. And then somebody in the marketing department said, stick a peanut in that.
Right.
It took years, an act of Congress under Lincoln's presidency.
That's right.
It was
not a lot of people give him credit for that.
It was split, and Ferdinand Burchis was the deciding vote, and they said, you in a Target demographic, target market.
You can't say Target and Lincoln in the same.
Okay. In Chicago, which wasn't even founded yet.
No, it wasn't.
But there were people grazing. Let's cut that out. In New York, which I think was...
that's where the Pilgrims settled. That was the first American city was New York.
New York. They're the Yorkshire Terriers, and they came over...
Stop.
My point is, some guy in marketing said, stick a nut in that.
Put a piece...
After...
Yeah, and those were amazing. Absolutely amazing. But it wasn't until, I think, when I was in... college.
1984.
No, I graduated high school in 88, so I was in college. So it was like 91 was the first time I noticed that they had put those nasty almonds inside M&Ms. Okay, and if you like almonds, if you want to get an M&M with almonds in it, that's fine. And I was okay with that. But here lately, they're losing their mind. They're putting and birthday cake, and they had a peanut butter and jelly M&M, and those weren't good. They need to stop. They just need to stop.
Snickers is another one. They've gone and reinvented a candy that already was here. They reinvented the turtle.
Oh, yes.
Because they made pecan Snickers. And I got excited when I saw those. And when I bought them, the person at the gas station said, oh, those are my favorite. And I was excited. Yep. And I went to my car and I bit into it and I said, this is a turtle. And then another part of my brain said, yeah, you stupid. That's what a turtle is. That's what it's literally what it says.
Caramel and
pecans and the thing.
Yeah.
The nougat.
Yeah, nougat.
Or nougat, as it's...
The nougat show.
That's the...
Anyway,
the Norse
anyway, M&Ms, you need to stop.
Time now for the Gumby episode review of the week.
Okay, for the past 3 weeks, we have talked about episodes of Gumby, and this particular episode, I have found what may be my favorite episode of Gumby. I loved Gumby versus the robots. I didn't think anything would compare to Gumby versus the robots. Then Gumby went to the moon.
I was on the moon.
That was close. It was really, really close. I think
Gumby
versus the robots nudged out Gumby Goes to the Moon just by a little bit.
Yep, he's on the moon all right. I've got to go after him.
The episode where they were looking for the rain spirits.
Rain spirits tell me to punish strange horse who not believe rain spirits promise.
Not my favorite.
Yeah.
But this one, Gumby and the Glob. Okay, so Gumby, and are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Gumby and his horse friend Pokey are in their house, and Gumby is sculpting a giant mound of clay. Now, this is ironic because Gumby's made of clay.
Yeah.
Pokey's made of clay. And here's Gumby cutting with a knife, a very sharp knife.
He's got a mound of flesh.
Exactly. It's like he's making up something out of human flesh.
Okay.
So Pokey comes in and says, hey, Gumby, are you done sculpting? Boy, I wish you'd cut that out because I missed when we would go out and play. And he's like, well, I like sculpting. Leave me alone. Yeah. He's like, well, what are you being a dick for? And they're like, you're
acting like Leatherface at this point.
Yes. So he's like, Pokey, calm down. I'm almost done making this sculpture. You know I like sculpting. Leave me alone, you orange horse freak. So he's like, okay, well, he gives him an ice cream, and Pokey has his ice cream, and Gumby is making this sculpture out of this giant, this big mound of clay is like taller and much wider than Gumby is, so it's a huge blob of clay. This eye pops out, okay, of the glob.
This is a body horror show.
Exactly. Yeah. And Pokey, who's famous for his eyes shooting out of his face, whoa!
Yeah.
Gumby, what the hell? And Gumby's like, oh my God. And this giant white glob of clay turns into this monster. 2 eyes pop out of the clay, and the mouth opens up. And it looks at him, and all hell breaks loose. This glob starts chasing Gumby and Pokey. So Gumby and Pokey are like, let's get out of here. And they run and they jump in their Jeep, right? And
they have a Jeep now.
Yeah, Gumby has a Jeep.
Pokey's a damn horse.
He could have ridden on Pokey away, but see, you're thinking exactly what I'm thinking. We share the same brain. So they're running away in this Jeep, and this glob is chasing them, and Gumby says, I'll lose them. And he just guns it and jerks the wheel to the left and goes down this hallway. And I got him. We've lost him now, Pokey.
Oh, yeah.
And Pokey turns around. Sure enough, the Glob is still behind him because the Glob stopped and.
So they just created this monster and they let it go, just ravaging the countryside, and they drive away in a Jeep. Like, we're good.
Anyway, so the Glob is onto them and goes the same direction and is still chasing them. So Gumby thinks, okay, let me do this. He rams the Jeep into this giant steel pole. The steel pole falls and lands on top of the Glob and smashes it, right? Okay. It's thin as a nickel. And they're like, phew, thank God we got rid of that thing, right? What's the Glob do? Grows right back up.
It's like the T-1000 now.
Yes. Yeah, he just regenerates, and then he starts chasing him again. So Gumby says, well, let's try this. So Gumby goes over to, guess what? A missile launcher. He launches 2 missiles into the mouth of the Glob. Okay. So you've seen Jaws.
Yeah.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
I thought this is where the Glob explodes into 100,000,000,012 pieces. No. The missiles just fizzle out inside the Glob's mouth.
Dud missiles.
They're duds. They're either duds or he somehow undetonated them. Is that a word? It is now.
So I'm more concerned about Gumby and Pokey's access
to missiles.
Highly, high ordnance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have access to missiles
and killer robots.
Yeah,
and a spaceship.
That's right.
Whatever world they live in, they put killer robots, a spaceship, rain spirits, and missiles next to a heavily brain damaged gum-based creature,
Glob,
and his horse.
Yes,
who rides around in jeeps.
Yes. So the steel pipe doesn't hurt him. The missiles don't hurt him. And they're like, what are we going to do now? And Gumby says, I've got one last idea.
Liquid nitrogen.
You know what? That might have worked.
Yeah.
Gumby and Pokey run. They have this ability to run into books. Okay. If you run into a book, then you can go into the world of said book and the stories. So they run into this book, something like Tales of the Old West.
There's boobs everywhere because they ran into Game of Thrones.
That's right. And they're like, close your eyes, Pokey. No, And anyway, so they run into this Tales of the Old West book, and Pokey's like, wow, this is great. I'm in my hometown, and what are we doing here, by the way? And he goes, we're going to get Marshall Dillpickle. So Marshall Dillpickle is going to help us out. And they're looking, and ain't nobody on the street. It's a ghost town, okay? It is empty. And Pokey's like, Gumby, where's Marshall Dillpickle? And he's like, well, he may be taking a break. It might be the end of his day, and he's usually in one of these bars here. And then they pan across all the bars.
They're going to get an alcoholic cucumber to save them from this self-made T-1000.
God. There is a candy bar. Okay. There is a juice bar. Oh. Right. And then there's, Okay. And so anyway, Gumby's like, Marshall Dillpickle! Marshall Dillpickle, we need your help.
Yeah.
And out walks Marshall Dillpickle, who may be my favorite character. He's like, what are you boys doing in our town right now? What's going on? He's got like the 10-gallon hat.
Yeah, but I need to know, did the producers of the Gumby show make him out of clay, or did they bring a real pickle?
Oh, no. He's made out of clay.
Okay.
All the characters in Gumby are made out of clay.
Okay.
So far. So he's a clay, and he's like, what's going on? And how come you're in here needing help? And talks like an old-fashioned cowboy. And you're...
Well, now, what's the trouble there, son?
And they're like, we need your help. This glob thing is chasing us, and we need your help. He goes,
well, son, you and your friend better get off the street then, because somebody's liable to get hurt.
Gumby and Pokey run into this bar, and then they drop down on the ground, and they're looking through, you got those swinging doors. Yeah. They're looking through underneath the swinging door. This is where Marshall Dillpickle shows all of his bravery.
Okay.
My God, he gets in the middle of the street, and he's got an ice cream in one hand, and he's getting ready to draw his pistol in the other. And he tells the glob,
all right, monster. Ain't wanted in this town. Now get on out of here before I have to shoot you.
The glob takes a look at him and his ice cream, and he starts charging at him.
Oh.
Marshall Dillpickle draws his weapon, and this is where it's like a Quentin Tarantino movie. He fires 9 shots into the glob. Bang, 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 bang. The glob eats Marshall Dill Pickle. Eats him. Dill Pickle does not go down without a fight. He fires 3 or more times, still inside the glob.
Okay.
And I'm like, damn, ain't going down without a fight.
Yeah.
Marshall Dill Pickle is a badass. The glob eats Marshall Dill Pickle and then spits him out.
Okay.
Gumby and Pokey come out like, what's going on? They notice, Mike, that the glob is staring at their ice cream. And they're like, hold on a second. This is all one big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
The glob's not trying to kill us. He just wants some ice cream.
That monster ate my ice cream cone, and it was a super double dip, too.
Hey, all the monster wants is our ice cream.
So Marshall Dill Pickle could have saved 12 bullets, and they could have just got him a scoop at Baskin Robbins one flavor.
Or blew his mind with Cold Stone Creamery.
And it ended happily ever
Wait,
after.
so the glob is just walking around. He just eats people if he doesn't get ice cream now? That's a monster that Gumby has introduced to this plane of existence?
A monster-eating glob, yeah.
Somebody needs to take Gumby to prison.
I know.
Pokey can probably end up in one of those facilities for mentally disturbed horses, but Gumby needs to.
And again,
needs to go away.
Pokey's really no help at all.
No,
I mean, Gumby's the one driving into the steel pole.
Yeah,
he's the one launching missiles.
Yeah,
he's the one who says, "Hey, let's go into this western."
Well, you can't enter the codes with a hoof. So,
no,
yeah. Gumby's got to be the guy that does all that stuff. I wonder
if Gumby was kicked in the head when he was little, because his head's all
slanted.
His head's all
absolutely
misshaped.
Was.
Yeah,
he's like a piece of spearmint that went bad.
This has been the Gumby episode review of the week.
Guys, if you like my Gumby stories, seriously, if you are a fan of Gumby, if there's an episode that's your favorite that you want me and Mike to watch and review, let us know. Go to our website, IrritableDadSyndrome.com. Send us a message on our Facebook page, or reply to one of our many hilarious posts that we post on the TikToks. So do that. And by the way, if you go to IrritableDadSyndrome.com, you can watch all of our episodes. You can go to Patreon and you can help us out financially if you dare choose, and that would mean the world to us. So,
yeah. See you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See you later.
Well, see you next week on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
There you go.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
I think we have to end on that.
We're going to end on
that. Cut that out. Didn't go where I wanted.
You know what I miss?
Are you going to cut me out, or are you just going to leave me in there and just doing that?
I'll cut it out.
Just cut me,
dude.
Darin,
I cut you out.
If you don't cut this part out, I
cut
quit.
you out every week.
Thank you. Hey, did you know that He-Man was Barbie for boys?
I did know that, Mike, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Did you really?
No, I didn't know. Okay. I'm trying to
cut
help
that
you out.
Yeah.
I mentioned Pop-Tarts. Excuse me. Too much pre-show soda. Peanut butter cinnamon roll in M&Ms. Peanut butter cinnamon roll. Let me do that one time. I want beets. This is what I want. I want sausage, eggs, pancakes, French toast,
and
beets on the side.
At one point, he's just laying on the stage.
Remember that?
He's acting like he's drunk.
Yeah. Every year at Thanksgiving, I will sit at the table and everybody sits down and we start. Everyone starts cutting into the food. Whatever. The cranberries. And we don't even have cranberries at the table.
I told him I wanted a biscuit. Yeah, you get a biscuit. Yeah, you're damn right I get a
By
biscuit.
God, I
ain't going to get a bagel. No. Them bagel people are tearing the country apart. Get a damn biscuit. Did you get gravy? I thought I told you I'm American. I got gravy. Did you split your biscuit down twixt and lay it a splay? With the open face, sopping up the gravy.
Nobody ever puts gravy on a bagel.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's nothing funny about that. It's just an observation.
This just doesn't happen.
I thought smear was a northern term, because my grandfather
is definitely down south.
Is it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, no, my grandfather was talking about when he was younger, my cousin said, pass the smear, and he got smacked across the face at the table. How dare you? And I'm like, what's going on?
Old Pappy Schmear had to take him out by the creek and put a bullet upside his...
Right. Hey, do you think our friend from Finland's going to show up again this week?
Hey, what do you think about
Let me ask you, what do you
Russian
know about
Federation and their conflict with the Romulans?
The Romulans?
I don't know, dude.
In Finland, we can eat all the chocolate we want. Well, that's great. I hope you enjoy living in Finland.
Hey, lady, you call him Dr. Jones.
Recording stopped.